Big man ting, smash the like button and subscribe. So as you've seen by the title, Dillian Whyte has unfortunately had to postpone his fight with Alexander Povetkin, aka Mr. Night Hands, because as we know, your boy Povetkin allegedly had C19, and to be fair, Dillian Whyte, he was saying, he's an athlete, he should recover quickly, but I get it. If he has allegedly had it, then he ain't going to be able to recover in 2 months. Now, I know you're chomping at the bit to get your hands on him, but still, the bottom line is, boss, it's your fault. No one asked you to get Nate Robinson. Do you know what I'm saying? And if I was him, I'd stretch this out as well. Think about it. If you've just beat Dillian, that's your meal ticket. You're not going to go in there and rush it, are you? This is his last real swan song. If he can beat Dillian again, he's right back in line for the AJ fight. Another payday. Another 10 million. Cash. Why would you rush it just for you? Just for Dillian's sake? End of the day, I understand Mr. Nate Whyte's frustration, but really, all you can blame is yourself on this one. Because you had no business getting Nate Robinson by Povetkin, in my opinion. Rightly or wrongly, whatever you want to say, no business having it done. Simple as that. I get it. Do I think Povetkin's stretching it out? Probably. Do I think it's alleged? Absolutely, but still. Whatever, we can all sit here and that's the way the cookie crumbles. However, respect to Dillian. He's not crying over spilt milk, and to his credit, as always, no matter what we say about Mr. Nate Whyte, he don't sit there and cry for too long. Now, he's on the warpath again, and he wants another victim. And these are the current man in the lineup, because Povetkin's not going to be around until end of the year, 2021, so we're going to move on and get some next Don in there, some next opponent Don. These are the man in the lineup. We've got RUIZ, Dinosaur Ortiz. We've got Andy. Must be my moment. Ruiz. And we've got Deontay. Big booty shaking. Deontay. Big Babylon booty shaking. Wilder. Now Wilder, listen, I've got a video coming soon on Wilder. Some exclusive information. But he's been MIA. Wow. Where's he been? He's been laying low. Ain't he? I feel bad for Wilder, man. I really do. He's lost his head, ain't he? Proper lost his head. Like, I never... Some of my friends from the north, they used to say this saying, lost his head. Like, never really got it, but... Deontay Wilder has lost his head. Completely. Only gone and lost his head, ain't he? Fleur, you know what I mean? Anyway, so yeah, as I was saying, Deontay Wilder, he ain't in the running, because his marbles are all over the gaff. He's in court, he's trying to prove that Fury was doing this and that, he's trying to prove, just a messy dude. Let's scratch him off. So we've got 2 other Dons in the lineup. Andy Ruiz, I'd love that fight. I'd love to see how dangerous Andy Ruiz really is, because AJ chose not to exchange with him in the second fight. I want to see someone go in there and actually want to mix it up with this guy. Now, to be fair, I'm not sure that would be Dillian Whyte anyway, but still, Dillian Whyte went in there and mixed it up with Joseph Parker, and Parker's got quick hands. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm just intrigued to see how good Ruiz really is, because when Ruiz was in there with Joseph Parker, he weren't all that. I think AJ's poor performance made Ruiz look a lot more deadly than he is. Hence, I need to see someone go in there and get a gauge of how good he really is. Now, if he sends Mr. Nate Whyte to his maker again, if he sends Dillian to meet his maker again, then I'll say, yeah, maybe AJ was right to run around the place. But until I see Mr. Big Bubbly, Andy Ruiz in there with someone else half sharp, I'm not convinced he's all that. I'm really not. Who was it? Bob Arum said, Andy Ruiz is alright, but we had to get rid of him because he can't punch. That's what he said. Why would Bob Arum lie for like that? Don't make a scrap of difference to him. He said we had to get rid of him because he couldn't punch the lid off a bottle. Had no hand, had no power. That's what he said. He wasn't entertaining and his shots were blunt. He looked good, but when he landed, and to be honest, who was it? I think it was Dimitrenko. Before the AJ fight, Ruiz fought a man called Dimitrenko and it went 7 rounds. And he wasn't knocked out. He didn't even get knocked down. He just got bored and got tired and sat down in the end. No knockouts, no. So that just, I couldn't understand it. I thought, well, if you can't, what do you think AJ would do to Dimitrenko? He'd be ISO'd. We've just seen what AJ did to Pulev, who's about a million times better than Dimitrenko. Ruiz couldn't do squat with him. His shots were bouncing off, blunt. Ruiz doesn't have armor-piercing rounds like AJ does. AJ has armor-piercing rounds. That's why when Pulev had his earmuffs on, had his guard up, AJ was just thumping through it. And that's why, you know what I mean, head down, backside up. Simple as that. Spread his cheeks wide open for AJ. Just split them open for him. To push his you know what right in for him. Yeah, push it all the way back in. That's what he does. You know what I'm saying? It's meant to come out. AJ pushes it back in for him. You know what I'm saying? If you got a leaky bowel, don't worry. Just call AJ. He'll push it right in for you. Give you the good plumbing. Yeah, back it all the way up for you. Anyway, that's Ruiz. The other side of things, we've got Dinosaur Ortiz. I'm not sure who's worse, you know. Dinosaur Ortiz or Ruiz. In fact, that would be a great cracking fight. Why is it? Have you noticed, yeah? Why is it? It's only ever Eddie Hearn putting good fights on. Like, that's not their side of things, yeah? They've got Wilder, they've got Ruiz, they've got Ortiz. You never see any of them, man, mixing it up. Unless it's Wilder versus Ortiz 6. But don't no one want to see that. When them, man, and it's not even just them. It's the same as their lower weight divisions. There's a whole bunch of goofy guys hanging around the place. All the good fights people want to see don't get done. We want to see Ruiz versus Wilder. We want to see Ruiz versus Ortiz. But to be honest, you know what? Let me not get political. Who cares? Dillian Whyte versus one of these men is a great fight. To be honest, I'm satisfied either way because I'd love to see Dillian Whyte wash Ortiz. No matter what I say, yeah, about Mr. Dillian Nate Robinson Whyte getting washed by Ruiz. That's Ruiz. He beat AJ allegedly. So I'll say if Dillian Whyte gets beat by Ruiz, that's fine for me. But Ortiz just ain't no good. I just can't see Ortiz beating Dillian Whyte. I can't see it. He only punches one shot at a time, and his shots ain't that hard. Look at Wilder. Fury, who's known as having pillow fists, bashed Wilder all over the ring. Made him... Listen, Fury hit Wilder so hard on the side of his head, on the side of his noggin. He thought he had an egg weight in there. You heard what he was saying? Oh, man, well, you can see the dent in my head. You got your Clark bopped, Don, yeah? And you'll notice that you never heard Wilder complaining when he was winning, did you? Wilder's a typical on-top fighter, Dan. He's an on-top fighter, Dan. Yeah? He's good at giving it out, and he likes to talk. Remember when he was talking greasy? Oh, 3, 5, 4, farm. I smell the blood of an English. All that kind of goofy talk, wasn't he? But at the time, because he was world champion, it sounded kind of fruity, didn't it? Oh, who is I, the champion? Is I come to England? I, the champion. All this kind of weird fruity, isn't he? That's what he was doing. Talking the fruitiest. And then he got his head bopped, and all of a sudden, all that energy of being the most feared in the division. He's gassed, isn't he? I'm the most... Who is I? The most feared in the division. That's what, the man was gassed out of his head. Proper gassed. How are you going to be that gassed here? And then get bopped by some next pillow fist Don. And now you've lost all that energy. Now you're outside on IG twerking. In the front of whole bag of man. What's that about? Lost all that fee-fi-fo fum energy. Where'd it go? My man's out here twerking. Wow. On one of them peak ones. Truly peak ones. But anyway, enough about Mr. Peak. Enough about Mrs. Twerk. Let's carry on about this Dillian Whyte situation. Dillian Whyte, Ruiz or Ortiz? Well, I can break to you now. Ortiz is also in the main one in the running. Luis Ortiz said, Dillian Whyte said, let me fight Luis Ortiz in February, then I'll fight Povetkin later. And Luis Ortiz has allegedly responded saying, yep, I'm ready to fight, but we've heard that before. I'll believe it when I see it. Because you know what comes next? Eddie Hearn la! Eddie Hearn la! He never sent an offer. Do you remember that last time? When AJ sent Luis Dinosaur Ortiz an offer, 7 million I believe it was. 50 times more than he's ever earned in his whole career. And everyone was saying Eddie Hearn was lying. Why would Eddie Hearn bother even mention an offer if they didn't want it? Like, it's not as if Luis Ortiz is Floyd Mayweather, yeah, whereby simple name association, you're going to add clout. Don't know Ortiz. The only reason someone's mentioning Ortiz is if genuinely they want the smoke. So I'm just hoping that Luis Ortiz's team don't mess this one up like they messed up the AJ fight. No more crying, and to be honest with you, I think Al Heyman's team have finally learned their lesson, because Wilder's now begging for it. Wilder's now begging for the little... Listen, Wilder's gone into hiding, but the little he does say is begging for the Dillian fight. He just wants some scraps. He's begging for it now. I feel sorry for him, actually. I do feel sorry for him. When he was champion, he was the greasiest. Wasn't he? He said, I'm not going to fight a peasant. Oh, a king don't fight a peasant. I'm the most feared. Wasn't he? I feel a bit sad now that he's lost that for himself. I feel, as a man, yeah, as a man to another man, never mind all the other stuff in between, as a man to another man, I feel bad that I see another brother be reduced in that way. Do you know what I'm saying? It's sad to see him just reduced, and now he's begging it, oh, please, Dillian, fight me. I feel dread. You know what I'm saying? I kind of preferred it when he was... Like, I don't like to see a fellow man broken down like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Lost all that energy, just gone. I feel bad. That's kind of a sad note, you know, to end this video on. My man, how the mighty have fallen. That's one of my dad's favourite lines there. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. It's gassed, isn't he? But anyway, yeah. Either way, these are all good squabbles, to be fair. You can't go wrong with any of these, and they'll be all funny. If Dillian gets Nate Robinson, it'll be funny. If Ortiz and his old legs gets... You know what I'm saying? Either way, it's going to be top quality info. Top quality entertainment. I'm dying to see how good Ruiz really is. I can't wait to see Dillian sleep Ortiz. So it's a win-win for me. Let me know your thoughts.